from the top of its head. It is said that this great Ndlondlo was the serpent which led our forefathers from the great hole which is to be found near the eye of the Mulopo River, according to the mythology of the Tswana people. They believe that the first people emerged from this hole, led by the plumed serpent, which gave them the world to inhabit, and the animals to look after, and the birds to protect.
Wonder what he meant. I won't find it. It'll find me.
Don't worry about it. It's just a Buddha man.
Throughout Africa, there are many myths about a fabled serpent that is both feared and revered by all tribes of Africa. To the Zulus, it is known as the Ndlondlo. The Venda call it Jambila. Legend has it that the snake is a black mamba, one of the fastest, most venomous snakes in the world, but an aberration, a freak of nature. Different tribes ascribe different characteristics to it, but generally they all agree that it bears a crest on its head like that of a cockerel and two dangling lobes from its coffin-shaped head. It is fearsomely aggressive and attacks without provocation, unlike any other snake. No one knows for certain whether it actually exists in reality, or whether merely is a myth of some dim and distant past. This was the animal I was really after this time.
Then we have got another serpent, which is very, very sacred to people of many tribes. In fact, let me tell you that it was sometimes regarded as an honor to die at the fangs of this serpent. This is the serpent known as the Mfezi. The great Mfezi is a cobra, what we call the sun god's cobra. Now, this cobra was so revered by our people everywhere in Africa that there were those who, when they were bitten by this snake and were dying, used to die with a smile.
Okay, 1, 2, 3, now!
While not essentially aggressive, the Egyptian cobra will rear and spread an impressive hood, creating a very intimidating sight when molested. Snakes are front-fanged, and in large specimens the fangs can grow to quite a length proportionately. In humans, when bitten, the potent neurotoxic venom affects the nervous system, causing respiratory failure and consequent death by suffocation. When the Egyptian cobra bites its victim, it hangs on and chews tenaciously, embedding its short fangs in the flesh, injecting relatively large quantities of venom into the system.
This snake was often used in strange ordeals which were performed upon people accused of serious crimes. If a man was accused of having committed a crime and he denied this charge again and again, then he was challenged by the king or the elders of the tribe to approach this sacred snake. If the cobra bowed down to him, then it was regarded that the man was innocent. But if the cobra struck him and killed him, then his guilt was said to have been proven.
The Crested Serpent will return on the Discovery Channel. The Crested Serpent now returns on the Discovery Channel.
We'd been directed to this deserted village where a lone Nyanga, or medicine man, lived. There is a powerful man, they said, who would know about the Nklonto, but he seldom sees anyone.
The greatest pillar of the religion of our forefathers is the belief that he or she who dies will be reborn again as a certain type of reptile, bird, or mammal after death.
Come on, sit.
So, the Zulu people believe that their great heroes, their mighty kings, and their wise men who die are reborn as mambas within a few days after death. The people of Venda believe also more or less the same thing. Some say that their ancestors are reborn in white crocodiles, which dwell in a secret lake called Fundus. This belief in rebirth forms an important part of the religion of our people.
What he was telling us was that in Venda, they have a story about a crested serpent, which is very aggressive and fearsome, attacking passers-by from the caves which it inhabits. It's said to be able to fly through the air for some 20 to 30 meters, landing on the victim's head to inflict its fatal bite. This is why people carry stones on their heads when passing the caves. We were given muti, a herbal concoction to protect us from harm, even though the last incident occurred 2 years ago. Another fascinating legend for us to investigate in the future.
In the mythology of the Venda, you will find this thing, that it was the Ndwari which taught people how to make love. To this day, the Venda people still send their beautiful young maidens into a sacred place at the ending of their initiation to dance in honor of this great serpent which gave us love, which gave us health, fertility, and knowledge. And you were not allowed to kill this great serpent. If you killed a python, you also were killed if you killed it without the permission of the tribal king.
This is the Domba dance of the Venda, the so-called python dance, which takes place once a year only as part of the celebration of puberty and the rites of passage that make young women become adults. The fire is lit with twigs at the beginning of the Domba celebrations and is kept alive for up to 3 years at a time. Notice too how the drum beat is comprised of 3 separate beats to make up this very complex rhythm. Notice how each girl forms one vertebra in the body of the python. There is something very powerful in this bond of womanhood that is forged in the tribe from birth.
What about those?
You mean those? Over there? We spent hours crisscrossing the Venda countryside to try and find the caves the Inyanga spoke of, but to no avail. We finally arrived at this gigantic baobab tree, probably one of the largest and oldest living organisms in the world today, but still no trace of the Nhlondlo. Sawubona, Ntate.
Ask him what all this stuff is for.
Kunjani mkhulu? Yini lezi zinto lezi?
Imuthi.
That's a medicine.
Imuthi.
Medicine?
Yeah, imuthi, ikhemisi, imuthi.
Manje lo wani le?
Loyi wa lucky, you still lucky.
This one is for luck.
Lucky, yeah, what lucky do?
For luck.
Yeah, for lucky. For lucky. For lucky, yeah.
Ah, I'm sure we'll need these.
Yeah, for lucky, yeah, for lucky. For lucky.
Manje usho ukuthi awukho wenyoka?
What nyoka nayi, what nyoka? Nayi, what nyoka? What nyoka nayi? Nayi.
Ah, that's for a snake.
Nayi.
Snake?
Yeah, nayi. Nayi, what nyoka?
Well, we'll give it a shot.
Yeah.
How much for the lot?
Imalini yonke, or low. Wonke lo.
Yeah.
Or low is 10 rand. Low is 10
for the
rand.
snake, but... Okay. We'll take it along anyway. Give it a shot. We've nothing to lose.
Bye-bye.
The Crested Serpent will return on the Discovery Channel. The Crested Serpent now returns on the Discovery Channel.
I wonder what it is about snakes that man has held them in such awe down the ages. Snakes have been linked with mystical symbolism and combined with supernatural powers of wisdom, influence, fertility, and good fortune. This has been the case from the Druids in ancient Britain, with their reverence for sacred snakes, to the Greeks and their cult of the mystic serpent of Orpheus, the Jews and their brazen serpent, the Aztecs, the Mayas, the ancient Egyptians, and so many more. The further I walked, the more resistance I felt. It was as if there was some force, some presence that was trying to tell me something. Things got so strange, I wanted to run back to the camp.
Nothing. Just a puff at it.
Could it be true, given all this information and background? Could it be remotely possible that our ancestors collectively reappear in the world as these special snakes? I wonder. There are more things in heaven and on earth, Horatio, than I dreamt of in your philosophy.
In the mythology of our people, the serpent is known as the guide. In fact, the Zulu word for serpent, nyoka, is related to another word, nyuka, which means to advance, to ascend, to rise, to strike out suddenly, and even to fly. Now, amongst the black people of Southern Africa, you will find several serpents which they regarded as particularly sacred. And the first of these is the python, known as the Ntlwati in Zulu and Twari in Tswana. According to the stories of our great-great-great-grandfathers, it was the Ntlwati that taught the first woman and the first man on earth how to make love. How to be taught by a snake things that I should know naturally.
Hello, what's this? Aha. Must be around somewhere. There we go.
See if you can get it. I tell you what, you go up the tree and see if you can place it down, and I'll grab it. Grab its head, grab its head. Watch it. These things aren't quite as quiet. Mind those teeth. Big one, huh? Try and get it round you. It must weigh a good 30, 40 kilograms. Put it over your shoulders. Yeah. Yes. That's it, that's it. Over you. Good. Okay, try and bring it down. Bring it down low enough, I'll grab it. Okay, bring it down, bring it down. Watch his head. Mind that branch. Watch that branch! Grab his head. Okay, she's out. She's out. I think I signed on for this trip.
Yes.
Let's have a look at her. Ah, she must be a good 4 meters or so, eh? Let's have a look at her head. Look at those teeth, eh? Hey, good job we weren't bitten. Ah, she's a beaut. You're one of the Germans who said they wanted a big python. I think we'll hang on to her.
It has a fierce array of bone teeth that are curved towards the throat, decreasing gradually in size. The head is flattened and the body somewhat compressed, covered with rather small, smooth scales.
It is said that it was the Nkwati, the python, which also gave us all the herbal medicines that we use today in the treatment of disease.
The Crested Serpent will return on the Discovery Channel. The Crested Serpent now returns on the Discovery Channel.
When a Zulu king dies, even today, and when after that king's death, or that great man's death, or that great woman's death, a mamba is seen coming into the village, people do not harm that mamba. They allow it to go where it wishes in that village. If it crawls into one of the huts of the village, they move out of that hut and they let the snake stay there for as long as it wishes.
Didn't sleep well last night.
Imamba.
Yes, I had a bad dream about it.
You must tell the witch doctor.
Supposed to be seeing Sangoma a little later this afternoon. The Sangomas use a fragrant herb called mpepu, which is placed on a few coals taken from the fire to start it smoking. It is said that the smoke summons the ancestral spirits for a consultation, whereupon the bones are thrown for divination. As can be seen, each Sangoma has his or her set of bones, which are quite unique to that Sangoma. These Sangomas sometimes have an uncanny knack for total accuracy. She spoke of how the atmosphere of death was following us, that we were in grave danger. I admit, she had me a bit rattled. Moses, too, was more concerned than he let on. By now, I think he was beginning to view the Sangomas in a more favorable light.
ngiyakufundisa ukuthi njengoba thina sakhula kuleya nzalo kwaShampana waphisela kanje yabona uma uphisela umkhondo mfana ukuthi ufike izithe ekhaya yabona look at all this doing yeah they burn it in uyabona lapha nalo ubuntu njani uyabona manje
Lalela Dambuzi. My tired old mind tends to forget many things nowadays. There are people who share beliefs very similar to ours in other parts of the world. The Red Indians of America also believe in a serpent very much like the Indonesians. And the Hindu people of India, they also believe in a serpent that lives at the bottom of a person's spine. exactly as we do. They call it Kundalini, which is strangely similar to the word Mbilini. Now, Dambos, I have said to you that in Africa, we regard the serpent as a very sacred thing. If I dream of a snake biting me, it means that I must mend my ways because one of my ancestors is angry with me.
A bit late, eh?
I'm sorry, chaps. River's in flood back here, and I'm way away there.
How's it going?
Ah, not too bad, huh?
That's good.
No real complaints. Look, come on. Zip. Jump in, lady.
If I dream of a serpent swimming in clean water, it means that I must ready myself to undertake training as a healer, as a Roma, as a Nunsi, what is wrongly called a witch doctor. Now, also, we of Africa, we believe inside each human being there is a little serpent that lies hidden in the base of the spine of all of us. When you are healing a person, if you are a healer, and the drum gets beaten, and the roar fills your mind and fills your thoughts and drowns your fears, and you feel as if you are rising into the air on the hands of some god, then you are going to feel something stirring at the bottom of your spine. It will feel as if somebody has poured boiling water down there at your bottom, and that this boiling water is rising at a very great speed, moving through the very marrow of your spinal column, and it will rise and rise and rise and explode through the top of your head. This is the serpent, which the Bushmen people call Mulu. And this is the serpent which the Xhosa people call Mbilini. This is the serpent that controls all the power that God gave you for creation or destruction, for healing or killing. This is the God serpent that lies hidden in all of us.
Thanks, chap.
In Africa, the snakes responsible for most deaths in order of priority are the black mamba, the puff adder, the Cape cobra, and the Egyptian cobra. But on account of size and agility and strength of venom, the notorious black mamba can probably be regarded as the most deadliest of all African species.
See you next week.
Size is important in deciding the most deadliest snake in the world. The larger the snake, the more venom it can deliver. The king cobra of Asia and the taipan of Australia, based on size, could probably be regarded as equal contenders for this title. The quickest, most venomous snake in Africa.
The bone of the dark one here indicates that there could be a fatal accident.
Venom, neurotoxic, causing paralysis of the inhibitory nerve regulating heartbeat, causing wild pumping.
And Doctor, these bones are seldom wrong.
Death by suffocation within minutes.
Capella Dambuza.
Death by suffocation, usually within minutes. Venom, neurotoxic, causing paralysis of regulating the heart, regulating heart pumping. Death by suffocation. All that excitement, and it was just a mamba. During the weeks we'd spent searching for this fabled serpent, we'd traveled about 14,000 kilometers, spoken to any and every Sangoma and healer we could. That the Enclonto exists is possible. The abundance of tribal evidence indicates it surely must, though we never did find it. Perhaps on our next field trip we might fare better. Who knows?
Be sure to tune in this Sunday at 7 for the Discovery Channel's Opening Night 92, featuring 6 premiere episodes from our new fall season. But now, Serpent Time continues to slither your way. Next.